Welcome. We're just going to start with some music here. I'm going to start with the reading. Today we are reading, the poet is Saint Teresa of Avila, who is a 16th century Spanish Christian saint and Carmelite nun. The name of the poem is Clarity is Freedom. I had tea yesterday with a great theologian, and he asked me, "What is your experience of God's will?" I liked the question, for the distillation of thought hones thought in others. Clarity, I know, is freedom. What is my experience of God's will? Everyone is a traveler. Most all need lodging, food, and clothes. I let enter my mouth that which will enrich me. I wear what will make my eye content. I sleep where I will. I sleep where I will wake with the strength to deeply love. All my mind can hold. What is God's will for a wing? Every bird knows that. Welcome to Shelter and Grace. It is Sunday, April 26th, 2020, and that today's theme is clarity and focus. Welcome, everyone. Here we shelter in grace together every morning using a little sounds of nature, words, poems, ancient wisdom, hopefully some inner wisdom, some singing bells, some wind chimes, and a moyo drum. Little science, little silence to support us in all of this. It's brought to you by myself, Reverend Elizabeth, and San Francisco Unity. Today is my 38th day of doing these meditations, and they will continue through the shelter in place until it's over. The theme today is clarity and focus, and I have chosen a poet But I also have some introductory comments that include Einstein and some other wise people. But first, I want to talk quickly about how to use sound and how it's different than words. We meditate to find the pause. I meditate to find that pause between being and doing, between whatever the world gives us and our response to it. We can't control what is in the outside world, but we can choose our response to it. And meditation allows me to connect to something deeper, to that inner voice, to principle, to spirit. It's accessible when we practice. I use sound as a hospice chaplain. I use sound because I've noticed that sound allows us to get underneath the words. It allows us to go deeper on most days. I think it's because we are vibration. And I know that we hold stories in our bodies. We hold it in our minds. And sound is one of those things that allows us to get underneath the words. We hold trauma. We hold aches and pains in our bodies. The interesting thing is that sound can allow us to penetrate deeper, maybe get to the stories that got baked in deep before we knew we were in an oven. That's one of my favorite quotes by Seth Godin. We also practice here listening without judgment. Sound can take us in. It's not just the sound, but the way that the sound tapers down to silence. It's another way in. It's another way into that peaceful place inside that always waits for us. What I like to do, and what maybe we can practice today, is to, in our search for focus and clarity, is to actively use images. For me, I come from the prairie, so I like to use a very spacious image, maybe of the ocean or perhaps of the prairie. And I use it to come back to. I also use principle. I use the principle of love to align to. It's another visual, sort of a little bit more embodied way to come at the same problem, which is those stories that are no longer working for us, but we're still acting out. It's a practice. And also our intention. Our intention allows us to listen to something that we need to work on. And an intention can be a single word. It can be a feeling. It can also lead us in. But the practice here, the overall practice, is to accept it all and not to make any of it wrong. In so many ways that we are the gardeners of our lives, and we choose. We choose in the next moment what to feed and what to weed. So I'm going to give 3 bells of the singing bell, where we can set our intention. I'm also going to offer you this beautiful thing from my garden. These are 2 amazing roses from my mad gardener. Hope you can see them. Something to contemplate. So I'm going to give you 3 bells. Set your intention with them. And we begin. Whatever your intention is for the next 20 minutes, allow it to weave into your thoughts and settle in. Spring and all these beautiful, flowing, wonderful growing things outside my door in Oakland. It reminds me of where to place my focus and what fuels me. Focus is like water. I spoke a little bit about a couple of days ago about the seeds that we plant. And focus is like water on a newly planted garden. If my intention is to be organized, and I always find myself in chaotic situations, my seeds of clarity are not going to grow. What I'll get is weeds in my garden. So focus is like a viewfinder in a camera, or like rose-colored glasses, or perhaps like blinders on a horse. It's hard to tell sometimes. The world is a more and more complicated place, and this pandemic does not help. But it is a spiritual law that our lives flow in the direction of our focused energy, especially our thoughts and feelings. When we have too many distractions, focus is a tool. It's an important tool. It's about what we consume and what makes a good life. It's where we accomplish what we came here to do, and we live a beautiful life or a complicated life where too many things get in the way. Einstein said this about focus and about how to choose. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant, but has forgotten the gift. In so many ways, our heart is the boss of us. We have to invite our heads, but our heart is the boss of us. And knowing that our lives flow in the direction of our focused energy. Like springtime outside my doors, my focus gives me clarity and makes me grow. Again, St. Teresa of Avila. I had tea yesterday with a great theologian, and he asked me, "What is your experience of God's will?" I liked the question. For the distillation of thought hones thought in others. Clarity, I know, is freedom. What is your experience of God's will? Everyone is a traveler. Most all need lodging and food and clothes. I let enter my mouth what will enrich me. I wear what will make my eye content. I sleep where I will wake with strength to deeply love all my mind can hold. What is God's will for a wing? Every bird knows that. The heart has divine instincts, and it just needs to be turned loose in the sky. Let's take that into our meditation today. Breathe our first breath of gratitude. Breathe it in through the heart. And exhale. We exhale all that is not ours to do in this moment. Breathe another breath of gratitude. Breathe it in. Whatever lights you up today, allow it to light up every cell in your body. And exhale. What is your experience of God's will? I liked the question. For the distillation of thought hones thought in others. Clarity, I know, is freedom. What is your experience of God's will? Everyone is a traveler. Most all need lodging and food and clothes. I let into my mouth that which will enrich me. I wear what will make my eye content. I wear what will make my eye content. I sleep where I will wake with the strength to love deeply. All my mind can hold. What is God's will for a wing? Every bird knows that. I let enter my mouth that which will enrich me. I wear what will make my eye content. I sleep where I will wake with the strength to deeply love all my mind can hold. What is God's will for a wing? Every bird knows that. The heart has divine instincts. It just needs to be turned loose in the sky. Remember this place of light, this place of clarity and inspiration, a place where we know God's will for a wing of divine instinct, this place called peace. We remember this place as we step out into our day, into our community, our virtual community, remembering our real community. We are sustained by that focus, that we are not alone.